You're listening to Goof on Radio with Rich Giordano.
My personal belief is that there is very compelling evidence that we may not be alone.
There has been and is an existing presence, an ET presence. It's not going to make a difference. It's not going to change reality.
I believe, as do the other folks that were on the flight, that when we visually saw it, that it was something not from this world.
Goof on Radio.
You were either in or you were either out, brother.
But the cream rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
Goof on Radio with Rich Giordano.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
Goof on Radio.
Remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor.
You're listening to Goof on Radio with Rich Giordano.
All right. Welcome to Goof on, everybody. It is Wednesday, June 29th, 2022. How the heck are ya? Good. Glad you're here. My 9 to 5ers. Take two. Welcome to Goof on, everybody. I'm your host, Rich Giordano. It is June 29th, 2022. How the hell are you? I'm doing good. My 9 to 5ers here. Halfway through the week. It's already Thursday, basically. So I'm glad you're here. We got the Hidden Underbelly 2.0 coming on in a few minutes. Can't wait for that because the belly is always... What is he doing? He's always got good stuff coming up. I don't know. Should be here any minute. I think he's coming. He should be here. I did have the new intro set up, and this is what I got. Watch. There's no picture, but that's the song. That's the new intro song. It is. I like it. It's free. It's free. No copyright, no royalty. Bam. There it is. Tony Introvert. That's a 2-pound message. That's well, I don't know what kind of money that is, but it's $2. And it says, geez, I'm afraid to say it. No dots, underbelly. Yikes. You know better than that, Tony. Tony's kicking off the show with the first super chat of the day. It's $2, and it is an informative one. No dots. What if it was no underbelly dots? Or underbelly, no dots. Under the hidden dot. Tony, thank you very much. This is for the first. Thank you, Tony Introvert, for the $2 thing. No dots, underbelly. Good. All over the square, UFO. Square? Yeah. It's the opposite of dots. Who's this? Hey, I see you there, Chief. So thanks, Tony. That's a mucho gusto generoso right there to start off. And, you know, we are supported. There won't be any what do you call it? Roll call tonight. We don't do that when we have guests. But just a hello, everybody. And you can help support the show. You know, we live, survive, thrive on Super Chat, Super Sticker, PayPal, Cash App. All the links are in the description. You can even join Goof On or become a patron member, even buy a coffee or a nose. All the links are in the description, even on the homepage of Goof On. Let's not wait any longer, because the man, the myth, the legend, he's working hard for ufology out there, boots on the ground, looking up in the sky, making contacts with people, looking for the nuggets of history. That's what they are. They're not dots, Tony. He doesn't bring us dots. He doesn't bring the world dots. You know who brings dots? Yeah, Corbell. You know what else Corbell brings? Bokeh. Yeah. Not the Hidden Underbelly 2.0. Nope. This is a man who's working very hard for the UFO community in more ways than you can ever imagine. A man who not only defies sound logic, who is of sound mind, who sees things a little bit differently than you or I. This is the man they call the Hidden Underbelly. Welcome to the show, Mr. Hidden Underbelly. How are you?
Oh my God, thank you. What an awesome intro.
Hey man, I was trying to spice that shit up right there, man.
It's too
What's
spicy
going
for
on?
the meatball.
Well, now you got to live up to it. So what's going on? How's the weather where you're at?
It's all right, man. It's all right. It's been really good, you know.
Where if you, without giving exact coordinates, where are you just about, so people understand where you're coming in from?
Well, I'm in the UK, and I live in a place in an area called the West Midlands. So
sounds nice.
It's kind of middle, you know. In history, we were supposed to be the capital of England, because everything that happens in England stems through the West Midlands. We have such a canal network and everything, and the known reason is that the money was always controlled in London, so this is why. But it means nothing really. But yeah, that's a fun little fact.
That's cool, man. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. That's interesting. So so do you have like the suburbs and a main city, or does it kind of all mesh together and there's no real divide?
Oh yes, there's proper divides. I live on the outskirts of a big city, Birmingham.
Okay.
But it's all classed as the West Midlands, because it's all like Saxon times, you know, like Mercia, we would have been called. So that's it. I live just on the outskirts of a city, so you know.
So how far are you from Rendlesham Forest?
I wouldn't even have a clue where that place is, to be honest. I've heard of it.
Oh,
it's very famous, but I just don't know where it is.
Yeah, I know Ollie from Alien Addict just went there a few months ago with somebody. I think they were supposed to go or went. I'm not too sure. I just thought I'd ask. Yeah.
Nah,
One of the most famous supposed sightings of all time. Have you seen the movie Phenomenon, the one from James Fox with the Ariel school kids?
No.
Zimbabwe, was it?
No,
Zimbabwe.
I know about the case, but I haven't seen the movie. Okay, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, did you see the other movie, the new one, Ariel?
Nope. No. When I'm doing downtime, I love anime. So I watch a lot of anime, and I watch a lot of true crime stories. I'm a true crime nut.
I'm a nut about it too. I just don't talk about it, but I've seen every SUV or SVU, whatever you call it. Man, I love that. I love watching all those. And also the ones they have,
and Criminal Minds. That's really good.
Stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. Well, that's interesting. Did you go to school for like college for anything like psychology, criminal justice, or anything? Like, what'd you go to school for if you did?
Well, I did go to school. Yeah.
Oh, I meant college, like college. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Well, I started off. I wanted to do films. I had an idea of being a director when I was very young.
Me too.
So I went to college for that, and I ended up learning about editing. And it's funny enough because you were talking about high eights, and I had to smile when you was talking about high eights because that's what I learned on. So
I think we both did. Yeah.
Yeah, digital was something just coming in, and it's so fascinating. I mean, like, look at what we can do now on our laptops and our computers. I had to pay. I remember doing a ceremony for a pretty big ceremony for us, and I remember doing a ceremony, and we had to pay to use the editing suite. And what we have now, I could just do it on my computer, and it's just insane how technology and the accessibility of things has come so forward.
Yeah. And, Third Phase of Moon, they've been making movies since they were kids, right? Like 13, 14 years old. And they always tell me, what you just did there, that episode would have cost $25,000 to make. And you just did it in 2 hours, by yourself. I'm like, how so? And he's like, all this editing stuff that we use, it used to cost thousands of dollars to pay somebody to do all this stuff. And they charge a lot, like $1,000, like for the day, if you want to get people to interview, it's real expensive. Well, back in the 90s and 80s, it really was crazy.
I remember like, I went to a studio. I don't know if it's still there. I used to go to a studio down in Hockley called Vivid.
And, oh yeah, sure.
And we used to, I used to have to book it on a Wednesday because that was the only time they would have a 12-hour session. That you could use the studio for 12 hours, and I would just lock myself in there. I'd be smoking, having my dinner, and editing away, trying to get everything done.
I thought you were talking about the actual program, the software from Vivid.
Oh, I don't know. I doubt it would be these same people, but it could.
Right, it might not be. Yeah. And I'm also thinking of the porn, Vivid porn.
I wouldn't know.
Hey, I'm single. What do you want from me? Excuse me. This isn't the morning show. That's right. Well, like I was saying when I was introducing you, it's true. When you're in this field, how long are you in it now?
Well, with the channel, 6 years, but I've always had an interest in it. I used to always love watching videos, and the thing was, I used to always watch these videos and think there's things that they're not doing right. So,
such as?
Well, they used to play the video too long without trying to zoom in on the object or trying to tidy it up and things. Do you remember? Like, let's go back like 10 years ago. They were just happy to slow down the video and play it over and over on a loop.
Sure.
And it wasn't really adding anything to it. It was just, and I don't know why they did it because it wasn't about money back then.
Are you just talking about regular people?
See, I can't remember these cats. I think they were channels, but in this field with channels, some of them don't last long.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just a little, maybe I'm confused. I thought you were talking about people in general, not channels or website. You talking about a website?
No, I'm talking about. I used to watch videos on YouTube, like paranormal
Okay.
videos and UFO videos, and I always thought that they could do a bit more for their viewers, like myself. And I used to always gripe, and I thought to myself, you know what? I found myself in a position where I had time on my hand. Obviously, being unemployed, I had a bit of time on my hand, and it's being unemployed is something new to me because I worked all my life. If I wasn't studying, and even when I was studying, I had part-time jobs. So I just wanted to do something. I didn't just for myself. I didn't expect this to blow up the way it did. I never expect, and I'm very grateful for the opportunities I've had through the channel. But I guess hard work and diligence, it does pay off.
Yeah, I think that's where I was going to ask you, because you're always looking at videos and you've been around 6 years with the channel. You do get accustomed to knowing what people are capturing, even though it's a dot. You're like, oh yeah, this looks like an airplane or a balloon. There's just certain things that you get used to seeing. And I always say the 5-year point is a good place to be, because I think you've made more mistakes than a lot of people, and
Indeed.
you've learned a lot. And at that 5-year mark, you're either going to stay in this field or just leave. I find out a lot of people don't make it 3 to 5 years.
Indeed. Yeah, I agree, because I've seen a lot of channels come up and I've seen a lot of channels go. And I always just my motto with the footage and showing stuff is you're only as good as your last mistake.
Oh. Yeah, well, I guess so. You hope not, but yeah, I guess so.
Well, I'm not going to sit there and say, I'm going to be perfect, because then tomorrow I might drop a video and it's absolute pants. So I can only learn by the mistakes I make, and I learn by listening to others. Like when we were on Ollie's show last time, and that guy turned up and he was talking about the loyal wingman. Now that's something I've never heard of before. We looked into it and I was blown away. And that's what I love about the public, because I'm open. I'm not going to sit there and say, I know everything, because I don't. And there's people out there that will know more than me, that will help me to home in on the skills and the craft that I'm trying to make here.
Yeah. There's always something to learn in this field, or adjacent to it, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, there's so many different avenues to go down. That's why no one person can ever know everything in this field. It's really difficult, especially if you're just a video person, or if you're strictly a historian. Like, for instance, Michael Schratt. You know who he is, right?
No.
Michael Schratt.
No.
He's well, anyway, he's a very popular UFO historian guy, kind of like a Richard Dolan type, but better.
Okay.
So, okay, I'll use Richard Dolan, for instance. Richard Dolan knows a lot, almost everything there is to know in the history of ufology, but this guy wouldn't know a UFO on video. If you paid him $10,000 to give you the right answer, he wouldn't know. And people think he knows. They think he knows all. I mean, he does history. You and I do more like videos. Like, everybody has their place, it seems like. Where's yours?
My place is, I like dealing with civilian sightings. I like, I like.
Do you get out there? You get out there and meet people?
No. Everything's done from my desk. Everything's done from my desk, but I do talk to people.
Yeah.
And that's what I enjoy doing, because I like hearing their tales, their encounters. It's very hard for me to go and meet a lot of the people that I deal with, because if you look at the footage, it's a global it's a global market I deal with. So I couldn't go over to Colombia and then be in Scotland, and I couldn't do it, physically couldn't do it. And we don't get many sightings in England.
Yeah. You really don't. Why do you think that is?
I really couldn't answer that.
With all the ancient stuff thousands of years of history there, man, you'd think there would be something there. All right, well, there is at Stonehenge, right?
Yeah, then we did
the crop circles.
We've had a couple of sightings at Stonehenge, and the crop circles. We have that.
What do you think of? I said Rendlesham before, right? When I asked you if you've been, I I meant Stonehenge.
Oh
How
no,
funny I said that. That is weird. I did that. That is bizarre. Yeah, I meant to
did-
ask you how far you are from Stonehenge.
I'm quite a way away from Stonehenge, but I do know where that is. But yeah, it's yeah, that's a pretty cool place. You know,
But
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Pretty cool place, yeah.
No, I've just never been.
Really?
Yeah, it is on the to-do list one day.
All right. You're not 50 yet, are you? Okay. Well, I'm not trying to blow your cover right there. I'm just curious. I think I have an idea. I think I just remembered, but that's okay.
That's cool.
You know, we were just talking about how many sightings you don't get over there. And I don't know if it's a cultural thing or what, but here in America, it's like there's a sighting almost every day.
Yeah,
You know,
well,
it's ridiculous. There aren't that many UFOs, or are there? I mean, what's your take on the US getting so many and the rest of the world not even close?
well, I thought I see. I'm going to beg to differ because
Okay.
the US does get, but I think there's a fair amount of sightings in South America, Mexico way going down. I think
Spain,
I think there's a hell of a lot. You know, at the moment, like there's always something going on in Colombia.
There is.
So I think it has to do with landmass or area of land, and America is a big place. South America is a big place. England, we're just a little blip in the ocean when you compare it. But I have to backtrack because I did say we don't get a lot. What I like to say is that I don't see any usable footage. Like there are sightings, but they are like somebody said, the dots. And I know my viewers, again, they don't like seeing dots unless it's doing something and something out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
So that's what I look for when I see these dots. Do these dots stop on a dime and go backwards, or do they make a sharp left or right turn? And if they're just going straight in the sky, it's hard to, I don't have the time to look it up, but it's pretty easy to say, okay, could that be a satellite? Because we have apps now that can tell us where everything is in the sky that we know of. So if we can't track it, then it's something that we don't know of.
Did you say earlier that people don't report sightings the same way earlier? What did you say? Something like that, right? That things are different now? Forget what you said.
No, I didn't. I think there's a lull. I think there's something. I see. I'm a conspiracist at heart, and I just remembered when I started out doing this, there was so many sightings that you could pick and choose. You could literally pick the best sighting, and now it's coming like, you know, I see other channels and they're just grabbing what they can get, like the San Diego sightings.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, I could show you pictures of somebody that was right underneath these objects. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he posted the pictures that he took, and you can see the smoke coming off of them.
Oh, you got something like that on those?
Yeah.
From San Diego? No shit.
It wasn't taken from the San Diego side. It was taken from Mexico side. But he was right. You can see the smoke coming off of it. And these pictures are kind of getting pushed aside because, you know, I just looked at it and knew they were what they were.
You sent me the one with the helicopter.
That was the one. That was a picture that was sent in to me today. Now, if you want to show that, you can. It's okay. The person who sent it over. What I am asking for is the original. I want the original picture because I have a guy, and he does my photo forensics for me. And this picture in itself looks really good.
Wow.
And when you get a picture like that looks good, a little too good, I send it over to my guy, and he's a whiz on the photo forensic, and he'll come back and he'll give me everything on it. And that's That's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for the original.
It's so hard to tell. I'd have to blow it up myself, but you know, you just can't tell anymore. That picture looks familiar. When you sent it to me and I pulled it up, I'm like, wait, I've seen this before.
Have you?
Maybe, yeah. It's hard to remember everything.
I haven't seen it before. So I was pretty blown away this morning when I looked into my box and there was a message there from this guy, and he told me his cousin took this picture when she was out for a jog. She just managed to get a camera out because she noticed the helicopter, and then she saw these two black objects, and he said by the time she tried to take another picture, they'd gone. It just flew right over.
That's a cool story then. And so it's brand new. I haven't seen it then, huh?
Look, you know what? In this game, I don't want to say, but you know what happens in this game.
Yeah, I know.
So, you know, I'm hoping this is why I need the original, because my forensic guy will have a good look at it.
I mean, you're not a small channel. You've got about 5 million subscribers now. How do you avoid all of the drama that's been going on? Do you just stay away from all the everything?
Yeah.
That's what I used to do. I used to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. There's to me, there's too much infighting, and you know, at the end of the day, we're all part of the same puzzle. We're all a little piece in this massive puzzle, and if we don't come together and try and fill in the blanks, then we're always going to be forever at a loss. It's a bit like religion. We all have the answer. It's just that we're always arguing on whose invisible person is the best, when really it's the same invisible person. You know,
pretty much is. Yeah. This is you sent me this other one. The mystery spacecraft smashes into the moon, leaving an odd crater. I'm looking at this thing. I'll pull it up so everybody can take a look. Did you read about this yet?
I heard about it a couple of days ago, and I was pretty stoked that the Star picked it up, because it's because it's something that NASA is coming out with.
Oh yeah. It is NASA. Star News. So it says astronomers think the object was launched either by Elon Musk's SpaceX Corporation or the Chinese Space Agency, but neither of them take responsibility for the strike on the moon. Wow. Like, you would think Musk would just say, yeah, we just threw it out. We threw it away. China, I don't think, would say anything, but it says here a spacecraft smashed into the moon earlier in the year, leaving a mysterious double crater. NASA scientists have been unable to work out where it came from. It says the object has been tracked since 2015, but no country admitted to launching it. That's bizarre. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, who gives a shit? Like, okay.
What's more bizarre is that NASA's actually coming out with this stuff. But then again, they're getting into the hunt for UFOs as well.
I know. Yeah, they're admitting it finally. Yeah. We're going to be looking.
But what's really cool about that is that they're also going to be looking at civilian sightings as well.
That's right.
Which the government's is staying away for some reason.
But NASA is the government too? Well, they're affiliated with them, but I think that is interesting. Hey, they're supposed to report everything to Congress once a year. But they even said themselves they're not going to probably disclose anything that's, top secret or, something like that.
But when they're dealing with civilian footage, they can disclose what they want because it's not top secret.
That's true.
Because they can get it. I mean, channels like myself would have it.
Yeah. Yeah. Good point. Yeah, that's right. I didn't think of that. We're getting smashed with a major thunderstorm here. So if I lose power, like we usually do when it's this close, just hang out, and I'll come back if I get blown off here. Because it's really like right on top of me right now. It's pretty wild. Did you just hear that?
Yeah.
You did?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, it came through, huh?
Right. Are you in Tampa?
I am just north of it, about 50 miles.
Okay.
So
I grew up in Florida.
Oh, whereabouts?
West Palm Beach.
Okay. So that's a lot That's about 3 hours south of me, right? All the way
Yeah.
at the tip. Yeah. I wanted to go to Miami this year, go to Fort Lauderdale, get a boat, but funds are tight, and I want somebody to come with me. So I haven't found anybody, and the drive and all that stuff. They got tolls out here. It's like so weird. And if you don't have a sticker on your car, then you get a ticket for $40 in the mail. There's cameras all over the freeway. Anyway,
when I used to live out there, is that what they call the birthday sticker?
I'm not sure. I never heard of that term.
Oh, okay.
The birthday sticker.
A lot of things have changed. I've been away from Florida a long time.
Were you born in the States?
No, I was born in England, but I went over when I was 6, and I did all my schooling. I went to high school over there.
Okay. I'm sorry that, you did school here in the States?
Yeah.
In Florida?
Yeah.
Oh, Florida had good education back then. The East Coast had incredible education. When I moved to Arizona, from New York to Arizona in 79, they wanted to advance me 2 grades ahead.
Wow.
From 5th to 7th. And they talked about it and said no. And the teacher stopped picking on me because I knew all the answers for like 2 years. I was the smartest kid. But Arizona was like dead last in education in the country at the time. They still suck.
I should have went there. I would have been a genius.
Right? But that's how advanced the East Coast was at the time. But now, even the East Coast, education all over America has gone down. It's bad.
Yeah, I think they concentrate on all the wrong things.
Lately, yeah. I think they have changed it a lot. Well, they took a lot of things out of school, too.
Yeah. And they're adding things in now. There's an agenda now that they're adding in.
Yeah, there sure is an agenda.
But we don't. This isn't the show, is it?
No, but it does leak. We get those people and their agendas in this field, and believe it or not, and I'm not saying who's left or right. I don't care. But Corbell, Lou Elizondo, George Knapp, Christopher Mellon, Ryan, David Fravor, they're all liberals, every one of them. So it's no wonder why there's a bunch of lying going on. Nah, I'm so sorry. That didn't come out of my mouth. I didn't mean that. But it's true. They're all, and look, somebody told me, I want to say who, but I can't. They told me, whatever you do, don't bring politics into ufology. It has no place for it, but it does. It's all about, right now, it's all about politics. What do you think? No or yes? Politics in ufology, good or bad?
To be honest, I just don't care. I'm sorry. It sounds bad.
That's a great answer.
I honestly don't care. I know that there's a grift on, and I just want to keep my game on. I just want to worry about me.
That is the best answer. I get it. But there is an agenda that's brought into this field from those people. And they're trying their hardest because they know in 2 years, all that funding they got for the AOI MSG and everything else is going to be gone. Matter of fact, I'm surprised they're even keeping it now with the way inflation is and the cost of living and everything else. It's only going to get worse worldwide. And that agenda was brought here to ufology, and I don't like it.
It's like what Tupac said in one of his songs. He says they got no money to feed the poor, but they always got money for war.
Ain't that it? Oh, man.
So they would always say they're broke.
That's so darn true. Yeah, it's sick. Meanwhile, I don't know how it is where you live, but our infrastructure is terrible. It got a D- rating. Our bridges and tunnels and roads are falling apart. They're so bad. Everything's bad out here in the States. I don't know if they're hiding it from the rest of the world, but it's true.
Well, we got a clown that's running the country, so at the moment it's a bit of a circus, and there's people out there that are really suffering. It's for some people it's a terrible state of affairs, and it hurts it really does hurt my heart to see how this country. But I did say it. I did say when the guy won the election, I said, if you hire the clown, you're going to get the circus. Right. And just because you put a clown into a kingdom doesn't make him a king.
No, that's so funny. True.
So we're going to reap what we sow. And this is what I don't get about politics, and I don't want to make it a politics show, but
okay, that's fine.
They're civil servants. They work for us, and if they're doing such a piss poor job, why can't we just say, look, enough's enough, mate. Time for you to leave. Let's give somebody else a shot.
Right. There should be limitations on how long they stay in politics. People
there should be some sort of code of conduct. Whereas our prime minister, he's clearly broke the code of conduct because all the rules that he made during the lockdown, I'm watching what I'm saying, all the rules that he made in the lockdown, he broke them. Our queen, and I'm not a royalist, but I look at her as an old lady and I feel for her. Even though she's got loads of money, she lost her partner in life. Yeah. The one guy that she was with. And she had that picture of her sitting by herself at the funeral, always engraved in my mind. And I felt so sorry for her. And then only to find out that night, our prime minister was partying.
Wow.
It's absurd. And he's still in office, still spewing his crap.
Yeah,
but anyways, let's go. Let's get away from all that.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So are you into it? We'll move on if you're not, but Skinwalker Ranch, do you care about or not really?
See, I'm interested in it, but I don't know the deal about it. I've seen like certain people, I don't know who their names are, but I take it they're pretty big. But I've seen them post footage of UFOs flying over there that looks like they're long exposed videos. Have you ever seen it? Oh, dear. The gods are angry with you.
I was waiting for that one. I saw the flash, and it's still light outside, and that thing was bright. What was your question? Do I what?
No, I was just answering your question.
I thought you asked me something. Okay. Yeah, it's right on top of me now. But if the lights go out, like I said, just wait patiently, and I'll be back. They usually come back on. All right. So Skinwalker Ranch. Yeah, we don't have to talk about it. I was just curious because a lot of stuff with that Travis Taylor guy who's, who may be like the next Lou Elizondo as far as everybody's concerned. Even Lou said it, I think, on the show that he may be the next him, to be. But this guy lied about, well, he didn't lie. He didn't disclose that he was the director of the UAPTF for a long time while he went and worked at Skinwalker, while he's working on TV. He's also working for the government, man. It's kind of a weird situation.
Is he that guy that says that he has unlimited access to Skinwalker Ranch? He can go anytime he wants.
No, he's on the actual show, this guy. Travis Taylor's the blonde guy, and it talks with a big accent like Texas.
Okay. No, I'm afraid I don't. Sorry, okay. I'm just kind of tunnel vision. When I'm doing my stuff, I'm just looking for people like myself.
I got you.
Have these sightings, these names, because I know they have to embellish some things because or else they don't have a show. It's like when you look at paranormal videos, yeah, and you have these guys in a house for an hour. The true paranormal people, it's very rare they catch anything in that hour. So you have some that will turn around and say, you know what, let's make it half an hour and let's rig up some pulleys. Let's do a few. Did you see that?
I hate that.
But isn't that what goes on?
It is exactly what goes on. Yeah. I have I have it for tomorrow night, but there's a video I found where there was a school, and I don't remember where it was, but he debunked it, and I couldn't believe it. I'm like, there's no way he can debunk this. And he did. And I was really impressed. And it made me sad at the same time. I'm like, here I am thinking this is legit, one of the few times, and it's all bullshit. And I fell for it.
Is it the Durpack school, the one in Ireland?
where the locker is shaking
Yeah,
back and forth?
yeah,
You've
yeah,
seen that?
yeah.
I was so mad.
I actually had that video on my channel, and
Oh.
the school gave me a copyright strike for that.
Oh, no way. What?
That's how come I remember it. And I actually wrote to them about it, and they didn't reply to me. So I just
This
thought,
is crazy. Why? Why did they do that to you? It's a video, your video. Or was it their
No,
video?
it
You
was
took
their
theirs.
video.
Okay.
Yeah, but my adage in this one was everybody was taking the video. You
Wait,
get what I mean?
Say that again?
Everybody was taking the video.
Oh, I know. Yeah. It's very
Every channel
popular.
had it. So it was, so I don't know why they targeted me, but they did.
Yeah, that's maybe because, you had a bigger voice.
Well, that was back in the days when I didn't have to speak.
You were just unlucky then, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I was truly unlucky because of how YouTube's structured. That's how come I have to present the videos now, because they won't just let me show videos. I know other channels are doing that, and that's between them and YouTube. But I spoke with YouTube, and they told me they want me to present my videos. So I said, okay, fair enough.
Here's a question.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. A question came in for you from Will Carr. He wants to know, has Hidden, that's you, ever seen on video, image or himself, a metal? I guess he's asking, have you ever seen, the way it's written is weird. It says, has Hidden ever seen on video, image or himself, a metallic drip-shaped craft? Metallic shaped craft.
Is that
disc-shaped craft? Disc-shaped craft.
So I'm trying to think.
Like a real one, I guess.
I'm sure I've seen footage. I mean, there was that one that was on the mountainside. If I remember rightly, could it have been Turkey? There was like
that's Turkey. You're right, and it went over the street and the houses.
Yeah,
and it kind of wobbled.
Yeah.
And it did. And it also had a little bit of like radio feedback, like frequency feedback from it. I always thought that one was real, but it wasn't, was it?
I don't know.
I swear. I think that's a real one. And people just, I don't know. Nobody knows who made it.
That's the problem. Well, that I think is why I didn't take the video, is because I like to be able to source things.
Yeah.
And if that's it, you have to have this. You have to try and source it. And sometimes taking it from another channel is not good enough because you don't know their motives. Unless you know the channel good. I know a few channels that I trust, but I still wouldn't take directly from them.
All right, so I'm going to ask you something that nobody knows the answer to. Maybe some people, but. So do you think the aliens, if there are any, let's just say they're here, or let's just say they exist. Do you believe they came here from another planet, or do you think they possibly have always been here?
I think it's a bit of both.
Oh, you can't say that.
No. Okay.
No, go ahead. Explain.
The reason why I love the emerald tablets. And when you look at the emerald tablets, it's a story of a being called Thop. I'm probably pronouncing it right. Have you ever heard of the emerald tablets?
I'm trying to think if I have. I'm gonna pull it up. I don't know. Doesn't ring a bell yet.
Well, he basically the emerald tablets tells an absolutely amazing story, and it talks about this character named Thop, and it talks about his life on Mars. And when he came to Earth. Now, it sounds a bit far-fetched, but through science now, things that Thop said in the Emerald Tablets, science has not, I don't think they set out to prove what the Emerald Tablets were saying. They just doing it through science. But it correlates with what he was saying. Like he said that Mars was destroyed by 2 strikes. If I'm correct, he said that Mars and Venus were at war, and there were 2 nuclear strikes that ended everything on Mars. But a few of them managed to escape, and he was one of them, and he came to Earth. Now, with the study of Mars and NASA, the scientists reported that they detected 2 spots on Mars where there was a nuclear strike because of what was in the ground soil would have been left over from radiation. And the only way it could have happened was from a nuclear strike. So that in itself was interesting. I thought, whoa, go on, thought. So I think there's a bit of both, because then if you look at the Anunnaki, I'm sure you know about that, the Sumerian history. Did the Anunnakis leave? Did they ever really leave, or did they become like the pharaohs of Egypt? Because some of these characters in there, it could be caricatures, but some of them were depicted as bigger than humans. When you see some of the drawings, not the hieroglyphs, but the actual drawings, they're very big. They're about 11, 12 feet tall, which would coincide with what the Anunnakis were described as.
Yeah.
So did they ever leave? And then again with archaeology, the archaeologists, they say that the Egyptian civilization was a step civilization. It didn't just go on a curve. Something came along and they advanced.
Okay.
So they call it's called a step civilization, because they just advanced. They can't figure out how they did it.
Right.
It just happened.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
That's archaeology. Well, see, because
cool.
I'm fascinated. I know it sounds stupid, but there's a saying: you have to know where you come from in order to know where you're going. And if we are part of an alien race, then surely something's there.
So if the Anunnaki never left, where are they?
Exactly. This is where I believe in shadow governments. Like we can go, like how I point the finger at our prime minister, and you might point your finger at Joltin' Joe. You know, but these guys are taking orders. I think, was it Mark Twain who said it, or Thomas Edison? I think it was Twain who said that if voting really did something, they wouldn't allow you to do it. It's an illusion of choice, because no matter who's going in office, they're still just puppets. Because
they're just a representative. Yeah.
Yeah. There's an unseen force at work.
Well, this may not apply to Joe Biden because he's really old and possibly with dementia, but did you see the note card that he held up by accident? And it showed exactly what he had to do. And it had in bold letters, "You sit down, you." And it's like, oh my God, they have to remind him who he is.
I love that. I don't know if it was a meme, but there was a picture and they showed his arm, and he had written on his hand, "My name is Joe."
Right. I saw that. I love that. That's true though, man. They're doing it.
But one of the coolest, well, not the coolest videos, but one of the funniest videos I saw was maybe about 2 months ago. And I think my friend Mavi posted it as well, where he did a speech and he turned around to shake people's hands. There was nobody there.
And he stood there for like a few seconds, like, all right.
Yeah, because he was still turning around with his hand, waiting for somebody to grab it.
That's sad.
Oh, it's funny, man. It's funny.
It's sad. I got to show you this though, because I don't know if you've seen this, but we're gonna take you back 30,000 years ago. Have you seen the rare mummified baby woolly mammoth?
Oh, it's that one that they just found.
Yeah, have you seen it? Check it out.
Yeah,
thing's amazing.
It is.
Look at that.
They were looking.
Are you kidding me? It's got a trunk and everything. It's so wild.
Yeah.
I can't believe they were real.
That was a great find.
Isn't that amazing? 30,000 years.
The moment I saw that, I thought, they're going to try and pull a Jurassic Park with that.
Well, they are. They've been trying to bring back the woolly mammoth, but they only have like 6 or 7% of the DNA, and they have to get a pure piece of meat with the DNA in it. But
Here
every
it
time
is.
there was a whole documentary on it. Yeah.
Here it is. Here it is. Can't tell me that thing ain't got teeth.
Oh, well, for a baby, yeah, it probably does already. They get up and start walking.
Yeah.
That's just amazing.
And the teeth is like a well of DNA.
Look at that.
Yeah.
It's just
good find.
It looks like clay, because it was in clay for 30,000 years. Look at, here we go. We'll get close. And then I just wanted to see if you saw this. It's just so amazing. It looks like somebody just made it. When you see people saying, oh, yeah, we got a mermaid on the beach and it's just artwork. That's what this reminds me of. But you can tell the difference. This looks real, but it also looks like an 8th grader made it.
Well, it's just the source again. I mean, it's a credible source. The miners.
Oh, it's 100% credible. Yeah, this is for real. Yeah.
I mean, when I first started out, we were putting up I was putting out videos of dragons and stuff. So it's like, oh my God. Sometimes I get embarrassed on looking on the old stuff that I did put out.
That's so funny. I know. I removed some things. I'm like, ooh, I didn't know I said that. I'm like, I can't let anybody see this anymore. So what do you got planned? Anything coming up?
No,
I mean, you just go by day?
Yes. Just day by day. I do have a video I'm going to be working on tomorrow, but I need to, again, I want to do a little research. But
yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's something, I believe it's something that's plasma based. What's your take on that? The plasma UFOs?
I'm not so sure, man. That sounds a little too exotic, even for aliens.
But I look at that. It could be like an interdimensional traveler.
Of course.
But
doesn't that just fill in the blanks for everybody, though? Wouldn't that be the perfect? I mean, that connects everything. That's how they're able to do what they do.
Well, the thing about this is you can't pinpoint one thing on one thing. I think there's many variables at play here. I think I'm a strong believer, and I'm not passing on my beliefs to anybody else, but I believe in inner Earth. And I believe the possibility that there's something going on beneath because I don't buy that the core is what it is.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, we can't go, but I think the furthest they drilled was what? I don't know. 7 miles, 13 miles.
And they couldn't hit it. They couldn't get past that. No,
they got to this, like, I think it was like a lava river or something where they just can't go through it. It was pretty far down, but I just watched a video yesterday, and when the drill got to that point, it was just moving lava and shit, so it wasn't working out. They couldn't drill any further. It is very, very far to get to the center of the earth. And they said it is extremely possible that there could be an ecosystem that we just don't know of. There's a cave somewhere in the other side of the world that has its own ecosystem. 1,400-foot ceilings. This place is beautiful. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but yeah, I mean, it's got its own rivers, it's got its own waterfalls, it's got its own creatures and everything that are exclusive to this cave.
So, and just imagine if there was some like humanoid beings that took on Tesla's studies. They could have some advanced technology that we may or may not know of, because I don't know if you know the story. Was it Scott's trip to Antarctic?
Or Richard Byrd.
Was it Byrd when he said that he was basically chased away?
Yeah, that's Richard Byrd. Admiral Byrd, yeah.
Admiral Byrd. Sorry, I get names wrong.
It's all right, me too.
This is why I stay away from the history of things.
Dude, there's so many things that are everything. There's so many connected. But
is he the one when they said that they saw the UFOs and they wanted to take pictures, and the UFO beamed the light on their camera and destroyed them? And then they pulled out the guns, and then the UFO beamed the light and destroyed them.
Yeah.
I think there were so many people that went there, and I think maybe, what was it, about 4 that came back?
Yeah, it was something. It decimated the almost the entire crew and all the ships, right?
And then
Something like that.
the Russians have got a story about coming across a creature out there that was a telepath creature that could get into their minds and make them do things that they didn't want to do.
Oh wow, no shit.
Yeah,
I never heard of that.
Yeah.
What? Wait, there's a magic like a bird that like an owl. You think is that what they mean?
No, they said it was they said it was like an octopus. The best way to describe it, it was like an octopus, but it could get inside your head.
Oh, that sounds like a movie I've seen.
I don't know if you guys have heard of this in the chat. If you ever heard of the Russian story.
No, but I definitely want to look into that. Man, that's crazy. When did this happen?
It's on love. It's on the level of Lovecraft. I couldn't tell you, man. I couldn't tell you, because when I was looking at it, I was thinking Lovecraft. So
I have Richard Byrd here. Did you ever see him when he was on that TV doing an interview on TV?
No.
How weird that was. He's talking about UFOs and shit over the Antarctic on TV back in the 50s, 60s, I think. I'm looking for it. Yeah, I've got some interviews from one. I think this might be it.
I'm just one of these guys, because people think I watch documentaries on UFOs and all the UFO programs, but I always say that I don't do that because I really don't do that because I don't want anything to influence me. I like to keep my own thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that, but don't you want to know what's going on all the time?
I see it. I see it every day. What's happening?
Do you?
I do.
I
do. I pretty much see everything that's out there. Pretty much.
You see what you need to see, and that's it. I think, right?
And some of the stuff I don't need to see, but yeah.
No, that's true. Well, I understand, but I don't know. Like I was saying earlier, everybody's got their place if they want. You can do what you do. I do what I do. Everybody just do what they want, as long as we're all trying to get to the same goal.
Yeah.
Try to find out what's true.
Yeah.
That's it. No, go ahead. You were going to say something.
No, I was going to say that's it. That's 100% correct. We all are in this together, no matter what your angle is.
What was the worst sighting anybody's ever given you?
I don't want to say anything like that, because I'm grateful that people are taking the time to look up, to see something. But the worst sightings it's not really the worst sightings, it's misidentifications.
Of course, but they still suck, right? You don't have to agree.
It's the hardest part. It's to tell them that, look, I think it's this that you're looking up. Like I always, one person, she sent me a video over. I remember this clearly. And I said to her, look, I believe this could be an airplane, but there's one way to really nail this. When you saw this, where it was. Use flight radar. That's a good app to use, and it'll tell you what's in the sky at the moment, so you could narrow it down. And I never heard nothing from her. So it's kind of like that. But I made it a point now to try and answer everybody's email, whether it's good news or bad news.
I do too. I try. It got really busy last week, and I caught up, I think, now. But yeah, it's nice to get back. And I don't like giving the bad news either. But when they say, hey, I know you probably think this is a balloon, but what do you think about it? You can tell me. And then I'll say, I appreciate it. Thank you for sending this and but it definitely looks like a balloon. Oh, what do you know? No. Sometimes that happens, though. I've lost friendships over being honest. It's so strange.
But you got to be honest. I mean, I can't ignore people, because that was one of my that's what I used to do in the beginning, was just ignore it. And then somebody wrote to me saying, look, I've sent you this over, and you couldn't even take the time out to address it. And I thought, you know what, you're right, and I'm very sorry. So from that, I'll try and make it a point. I've got a couple of emails I need to address now. I hope they ain't in there saying, well, mate, I've sent you over something. You ain't even answered me. But I will get to it because I have a busy day. I work 8 hours a day on the channel. It's like a full-time job.
It is.
You know, like say today, I didn't find anything because every channel is dealing with the San Diego sighting.
I can't get over it. I said, with all the dots that I have, I could be the best UFO guy on the planet if I just said, hey, this is really a UFO and not a balloon. People would be like, oh, but I would know. But, you know, it's just amazing that flares are getting this much attention. And over in San Diego, they have Navy ships parked everywhere.
Yeah.
You know,
I do remember back in the days, maybe about three, 4 years ago, I would have got excited over it too. So, but
yeah,
you just learn your craft.
I know, but you have people, and I'm not going to mention any names because, you know, he just got caught hoaxing, but he's going around telling people this is the greatest thing. It's unbelievable. Nobody knows what it is, but it's flares. Everybody knows what it is. But there's people out there who want to be loved. They can't tell truth, and they're actually hurting people. They're hurting people by giving them bad information. And not only that, they don't know. They don't have the experience enough to say it's definitely this or that.
Or maybe they do know.
Nah, this guy does. Oh, yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe he's in on it.
He fired them.
Here's the Richard Byrd TV interview. I just want to play for a minute because it's so weird, so interesting.
Good evening. This is Frank Knight. May I introduce our co-editors for this edition of the Longines Chronoscope? Larry Lasser, CBS News correspondent, and Kenneth Crawford, National Affairs Editor of Newsweek magazine.
This is serious.
Our very distinguished guest for this evening is Admiral Richard E. Byrd.
The North Pole used to be a no man's land, but these are the days when, by buying a ticket on a commercial airliner, you can fly across the North Pole and drink a cocktail at the same time. You know, only 30 or more years ago, about 35 years ago, our guest tonight found out whether there was any land north of the North American continent. He made that first discovery flight, and I must say that Admiral Byrd, our guest tonight, is not only our greatest living explorer, but he's been an inspiration to countless Americans. Admiral Byrd, you've been to both the North Pole and the South Pole. Is there any unexplored land left on this earth that might appeal to adventurous young Americans?
Yes, there is. And not up around the North Pole, because it's getting crowded up there now, because they find out it's really usable, not only to live in, but militarily.
This guy's a bullshitter. Have you ever seen this?
No.
It's pretty cool, actually. Yeah, it's wild. You know, I do body language and, you know, see if people are lying with, you know, facial influxes and stuff. And to me, it looks like this guy's lying his ass off. And I've been saying that ever since I first watched him. But the story sounds so unreal. Like, how could it be? How could somebody make this up and act this way? I think it's just his personality. But that's amazing. Look how old that shit is.
Yeah. And they're actually having a discussion about this as well.
It's serious. Here, I'm going to go a little further because he talks about the land and how lush it is. And
one permanent resident, that's the emperor penguin. The little ones live further north. I tell you one reason they're interested. It's by far the most valuable, important place left in the world for science. That's why the scientific groups all over the nation are really interested. But more important than that, it has to do with the future of the nation, those to come after us, or even during your lifetime. Because it happens to be an untouched reservoir of natural resources. And, you know, as the world swings with an ever-increasing acceleration, far-flung places, once useless, like we thought the North Pole was, and no man's land, become very useful. The bottom of the world will be important, not only to us, but to our allies.
Does it?
You know, the way he's facing them, has his arm on the chair, is twirling around the little ashtray. This is one confident guy who feels strong in his details and is saying there's a lot of land out there that I didn't get into it because it takes a minute, but yeah, there's a rich environment where we'll be able to plant crops and build buildings and running water. And I mean, it's amazing what he said we could do over there. It's the greatest place for real estate if you wanted to go buy land. I can't believe it.
The only problem is the snow.
I know. Well, he says once you get past all that, it's like it's lush green like Hawaii. How does that happen? Come on. I mean, you know what I mean? That sounds like some inner earth shit.
And well, yeah.
Just
that's what I think.
Out.
That's what I think he's trying to get at.
Yeah. And I think what's happening is the hole that goes into the earth, you know, it's warm, it's lush, and I think it bleeds out over into the Antarctic. And you know what I mean? And you could follow it in, kind of like Land of the Lost.
Yeah. I agree. 100%.
I get excited about Antarctica and shit like that. I just think there's so much going on up there, down there, wherever.
I think it's a big key that will unlock a lot of questions. And you know, it's more to the mystery because they don't allow anybody there.
Right.
No civilians can go there, and not many scientists can go there. So what are they hiding? We as civilians can go pretty much anywhere in the world except there and another couple of islands.
Well, you can go there, but you need a guide. It's very dangerous.
Well, you need permission.
Right. I know. It sucks.
And permission is rarely granted.
Yep. I think you have to be somebody or have a lot of money. Yeah. I don't know why they keep us away from there. I know a few years ago, they were bringing well-known people down there. Like I think Obama went, Prime Minister went, right? And then Buzz Aldrin got sick down there.
Don't they have like the seed bank there as well?
Oh no, I think that's in New Zealand. It's really high in the mountains.
Okay, yeah. All right.
Unless there's another, I think there's seed banks all over the world. I think there's like 9 of them.
Is there?
There's something like that. Yeah, there's a couple of them, I think, around the world. Unless I'm getting confused with 2012, the movie. You know, remember that movie?
Yeah, I do.
I can't believe that was 10 years ago already.
Oh, man. And we're still here.
Yeah. Well, they said they made a mistake with that calendar. Remember?
I was saying from the beginning you made a mistake with that calendar.
Right.
It was obvious. The obvious mistake was that the Mayan culture, anything that's a circle, means infinity. It doesn't stop. The calendar was a circle calendar. It was unusual because it was a circle calendar, and they called it the long count. So when it hit 2000 years, it was a reset, and then it starts again. And it coincided with astrology because we came into the age of Aquarius.
It was the alignment.
Yeah, because now we're in the age of Aquarius now.
Okay.
So
I forgot. Yeah.
So, you know, I did say that. I said, don't be stupid and not pay your mortgage because you're going to be here on the 13th.
Yeah. Are you're familiar with the Illuminati, right?
Oh, indeed.
According to the Illuminati playbook, we're supposed to have end of days pretty soon, right? And now people are thinking and talking about this in the field that we are on the cusp of a possible alien invasion. But what Werner von Braun said, he said that there's supposed to be the pandemic, then an asteroid strike, and then there's supposed to be the false flag alien invasion or whatever. So I know there's a comet that just got into the inner solar system, but it's going to pass Earth, you know, as far as Mars. So it's not going to be close, but, you know, maybe something from the tail of that comet may whip by and crash into Earth soon. It just seems like things are really crazy around the world. Like they're preparing for something. I don't know. I just got a weird feeling, man. Do you get that vibe?
it's hard because there's always been a lot of end of days predictions and prophecies, and it doesn't happen, and it's always the same thing. We got the numbers wrong. I mean, to say we're going to get hit by an asteroid, I could say that, and it probably will happen because there's so many things out in space, and we can get hit by any angle. We only have eyes in space on a small fraction. I mean, things can come from underneath us. Remember, and I'm not into this flat Earth. I believe we are a globe, and we can get hit from underneath, above. It's not just a straight field that these things will come in at, a trajectory. There are things that NASA sees 2 weeks and days. But even when you look at something that's being spotted 2 weeks from the event, that's not time.
No.
Because look at that asteroid that you're talking about. They've been tracking that for years.
I know, that's crazy.
So I would more think with the Illuminati, they need a controllable population. So I would more look at something like a pandemic, because we already know if we take the Georgian Guidestones as any kind of hint to what's coming, they already told us, well, we need 500 million to be a controllable mass. There is close to 8 billion now.
Yeah.
You will not get the body count in war. War will not provide you that massive body count, but a pandemic will. So that's what you have to look. You have to look for where this number is coming. And also, one of the things that I found very interesting is they said there's a few things that they said, but one of them was one currency.
Yeah.
Now, if you look what's going on at the moment in the world, thanks to the pandemic, is that a lot of people have started to switch to electric money. Very few people, I shouldn't say nobody, very few people actually carry cash. It's all done. Yeah. And that is the one currency. That's what I believe is the one currency, because you can take your card now and go anywhere in this world with that card.
Yeah, I know.
Gone are the times where you have to get traveler's checks. Was that a lightning flash?
No, I was getting a video ready. And
isn't it? It's gone are the times of traveler checks, or you have to get currency, and because all you need is your card, and it's all done for you. So the next one is going to be the one religion. I want to see how that's going to work.
Oh my God, that'll never happen. There's no way.
Well, this is how Bluebeam could come into play.
I don't know, that you got to get the whole world to believe in one religion. How would that happen?
Are you familiar with the Albert Pike letters?
I am somewhat familiar. I know them. I need to be refreshed on them, though. Once I hear something, I'll remember. What about them?
Well, Albert Pike was a notorious Freemason and magician. And when we're talking about magicians, I'm not talking about pulling a rabbit out of the hat kind of magician. He was like on the level of Crawley.
Okay.
So he wrote 3 letters, and it basically plotted out the world wars. World War I, exactly how he said it was to happen, happened. World War II, exactly how he said it was to happen, happened. World War III. Now, World War III, he's talking about it being a spiritual war, where first he said we have to go after the what do you call the people that believe in nothing? What are they called again?
Agnostic?
Atheists.
Oh, okay.
Atheists. We have to go after the atheists because they are the most dangerous, because they actually believe in nothing. So we can't sway them one way or the other. So once we destroy them, then we have a playing field. And then it's all about pitting one side against the other side. And it's basically say, like when I saw Black Lives Matter movement, I thought, well, that's kind of it, because they kind of want to kick off, because you're a certain color of your skin, you must hate them and they must hate you. But it didn't work,
Right.
because unity is something that they can't count on. Whereas people will come together and say, look, I know what's going on is wrong, and I'm going to stand next to you, my brother. And that is the human spirit. And as long as we hold fast to the human spirit, we won't be crushed.
No.
That's my soapbox. Sorry.
No. Good job on that, because you're right. I think you got to stand strong in what you believe. But you mentioned the Georgia Guidestones, perfect perpetuity with Earth and nature at 500 million people. It would take something like, I think, like a comet hitting the Earth, like we're wiping everybody out, or a pandemic. But we saw what happened with just I'm not going to say it was a nothing pandemic, but I mean, really, it was just a terrible flu that they didn't get a cure for. I don't know.
Could that also be a beta test?
I think, and I thought of that. What a way to test the planet, see what you can do, what you control, who's going to listen, who's going to fight back, how is it going to work out? Did it, you know what I mean? Yeah,
I want to give you, you know what, I feel you have a good show, and I want to share some information with you.
Okay.
And with you guys as well, because I know, Rich, I'm going to show you something, and it's going to blow your mind away about the pandemic.
Oh.
All right. So I've seen you getting a video together. So it's going to take me about 5 minutes to find this.
Okay.
But I know it's going to blow your mind. I don't think a lot of people have seen this, and I'm hazarding a guess that you wouldn't have seen it, because this information was kind of suppressed. But
would I get in trouble for playing it?
Oh, it's not a video. It's not a video. This is a scientific report. This is really cool. This is really cool. I mean, because I do what I do, and I'm pretty much everywhere, I stumbled across this, and I've always kept it to myself, because I didn't know how to present it. I didn't know how to show it, but I do think people need to see this. So would you, if I send it over, you could have a quick look and see what you think?
Sure.
And if you want to show it, please show it, because I think it's interesting. I think people need to see another take on this pandemic.
So it's not a video. It's just like
it's a report that was done by a board of scientists. Again, God bless the Canadians, because I'll tell you what, they come out and they're not afraid to talk.
Okay.
You know what I mean? They were the first ones to come out and say, even though we know it, they were the first ones to come out officially on paper and say cannabis cures certain types of cancer.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They went on the record with that, and God bless them for that, because we knew that anyways.
That's crazy. Yeah.
But here, if you play the video, I'm going to dig this out.
Yeah, I can play this video while you're doing that.
Okay.
I think this one is on your channel too. It's the new video here. Let me play it.
Oh, cool.
I saw you asking to use it too when I did.
Yeah.
Here we go. This one. I don't know if I played this on the show. No, I didn't. I was going to yesterday and I didn't, but here it is.
Okay, so this is my balcony.
This is Medellin, Colombia. This guy captured this. I think Third Phase did something, guys, on this too. But there it is. See, there's something really funky about this object, and I just haven't zoomed in on it, looked at it closely. It's really sharp and very clear. I know I said the same thing, but it's sharp and clear. It's like you can see these hard edges, and I believe a plane flies by somewhere here. And
on God, like I have no fucking experience with Photoshop or whatever the fuck.
And this guy's really recording it. It's not put into his phone. It's not a fake thing. I just wish somebody else. Uh-oh. Okay, there we go.
Bro, what the fuck is that? Like,
look at that. An airplane's come by. It's pretty awesome.
Look, there's a plane.
Not bad. It just looks surreal to me. It looks too good to be true. So what I want to do while Hidden Underbelly's looking for that, I want to go to Third Phase of Moon since I haven't played any of their videos. Don't forget tonight after Goof On to go to the Josh and Artemis show. They're going to go over and disseminate Stan Romanek, one of the biggest hoaxers and bad guys that made his presence known with Jeff Peckman. And this is, the guy with the alien in the window, everybody, the guy who got in trouble for child porn, where they said his computer wasn't a computer. We called it a porn machine, like a child porn machine. Disgusting. And he looks like one too. That's the weird thing. He looks just like a pedo. Sorry, that's the way I speak. Don't like it? That's what he looks like. Hold on. So they're going to be talking about that later. I suggest you take a look later. I want to see them have 60 people live tonight. So please do me a favor and go over to Josh and Artemis right after this show. Yeah.
Where's the best place to post this link that you could show it?
Oh, you could post it on Twitter.
Okay.
For me, DM it.
Okay.
If you can't, is it just a link?
It's a link, but I think, you know what? If I was doing live shows, I would probably cover this because I think it's very interesting. I'll tell you what it is once you get the link up.
Okay. Tell me when you send it.
There
it is.
Ding, ding.
I just heard it come in. All right. Let's pull it up. Pull it up, pull it in, pull it out. My mouse is going out. That is weird. It's plugged in.
Just be careful what you say because certain words, as you know, we can't say on here.
Yeah,
YouTube's still a bit funny. And they shouldn't be because this is an actual scientific report. This isn't like a bunch of conspiracy theories talking about this.
Here it is. Origin of new emergent coronavirus and candida fungal diseases, terrestrial or cosmic.
And you got to, guys, I you know what, I want to share if you want to share the link with people, because I think you guys should take a look into this because
I'll share the link right now.
These guys, they did their homework. They actually they're saying that the virus could have possibly came from outer space.
What?
Yeah, read it.
What?
It is insane. They tell you exactly where this meteor landed.
That is great. I just put that in the chat room. Everybody, I'm gonna pin it for now. God, I got something in my eye. Hold on, let me pin it. I have to wait for the chat. But it says, hold on a second. I see some people sending me messages on, here it is. All right, finally, I just got my chat caught up. Chat room's moving. All right, there's the link to the COVID article. The origins and global spread of two recent yet quite different pandemic diseases is discussed and reviewed in depth. The Candida auris, a eukaryotic fungal disease, and COVID-19, a positive strain RNA viral respiratory disease. Both these diseases display highly distinctive patterns of sudden emergence and global spread, which are not easy to understand by conventional epidemiological analysis. God, it's easier to think it and read it in my head than say it. Epidemiological motherfucker analysis based on simple infection-driven human-to-human spread of an infectious disease assumed to jump suddenly and thus genetically from an animal reservoir. Both these enigmatic diseases make sense, however, under panspermia info model, and the evidence consistent with such a model is critically reviewed. Panspermia is when something from outer space enters our atmosphere, lands on Earth, and spreads its origins all over us. That might be where humans came from. We could be panspermia for all we know.
Indeed.
In the past 40 years, there have been a number of suddenly emerging epidemic viral diseases. Many were self-limiting and went away or disappeared almost as quickly as they appeared. SARS, MERS, Zika. The origins in all these cases were a mystery and very controversial. Others, such as the far more deadly HIV retrovirus, has finally succumbed to highly effective antiretroviral therapy, making life bearable for infected HIV people. However, it has integrated into the human germline in many cases and is likely to be permanent and endogenized. Okay, so it's always going to be in our bodies for in our DNA in the human germline, joining many thousands of others. All right, so however, the pandemic has been analyzed in great detail, and the astute and engaged reader of all that evidence is left with only one conclusion. The Spanish flu disease came from space on a massive scale and killed tens of millions before the advent of air travel. What? This is amazing.
Exactly.
This is a long read. I'm going to read it, and then I'll continue tomorrow with it.
I mean, it's awesome because when there's a bit in there where they start tracking.
Wow. They started tracking where it came from, you're saying?
Yeah, well, they tell you exactly where they tracked the meteor that landed, and they tell you where it landed. It was just outside Wuhan.
No way. I didn't know that.
Wuhan.
Yeah.
This information was kind of suppressed. It was released and it was suppressed.
Oh, here it is. To put one interpretation on the striking case patterns, particularly the symmetrical pattern, it looks like a huge viral bomb explosion took place near or over Wuhan. And then the radial fallout of the disease causing viral particles to land on the millions of people, either laterally or from above. Some of those infected would be susceptible and who then have succumbed to the respiratory illness. Oh my God. Came in viruses through the stratosphere is an analysis by way of quantitative analogy of the expectation of radioactive fallout patterns. Oh, I see. So they're comparing it to radio fallout patterns from the atmospheric nuclear tests in 1958. That's bizarre. Yeah. This is crazy.
And before you, I see some of these people in the chat saying this is silly and things like that. But the link is there. Go check out these doctors' credibilities. Check out the people that are writing this before you say it's silly, it's stupid. It is quite plausible because our atmosphere, our planet is being hit, if not on a daily basis, a weekly basis, by things coming from outer space, from the far reaches of our universe. So, it's up to you. Believe what you want. Yeah. Don't believe it. I can't be bothered. It's not a fringe science. These are actual scientists.
This is peer reviewed then, I guess.
Indeed.
Wow. This is crazy. I've never heard of it. I'm going to read it all and do my own research like we all should, instead of just yelling out, this is silly.
See, how can it be Chinese disinformation? This is from a Canadian research team. But you will say the Chinese paid them off. To every yin, there's a yang.
Yeah. That is definitely true. And there's every wing, there's a wong. I don't know what that means, but good. Yeah, thanks for that. Well, I've always been interested in the pandemic, and I just think the whole thing was a setup, but maybe it wasn't. Maybe this is why they can't. Well, we all know where it started. Wuhan. That's what they're saying. Oh, wait a minute. So are they trying to let China off the hook here?
Well, you can't really say let's let China off the hook.
Because, you know what I mean? Because now we're saying that it came from the actual lab itself.
Well, that's what some people want to believe.
Mm-hmm. But I'm saying this might give them an out. It makes China look like we didn't do anything wrong. See, we told you.
Well, they did do a lot of things wrong because they knew what was going down, and they said nothing. They allowed people to travel, air travel. They allowed people to travel. They allowed people in the country when they knew something was going down. So
that's definitely true.
They did do some things wrong that they can't get off the hook. But it's one possibility. in a world in a world that is crazy.
You said you're into conspiracies. That's a conspiracy, and I like it.
Well, it's a
I love
conspiracy it's a conspiracy that's on paper. These people, these doctors, and I think it's how many? It's about six to eight doctors. If you look at the very sorry.
6. Yeah, you're right. Sorry.
6 doctors have put their name to this and put their credibility to this and put their neck on the line for this. So instead of just dismissing it, guys, just have a look at it.
That's all.
If you've had a look at it and then you say, "Oh, this is all bollocks," fair enough. But before, you haven't even tasted the meal that I gave you, and you're saying it's awful.
Because it sounds crazy to some people to think that this could be some sort of panspermia, but that's a real thing. Panspermia is real. Why not?
And that's what blew my mind when I read this. I was showing my partner, and she was like, "What? These guys actually took the time to do this?" And I was like, "Man, look at all the information they got in here. They really did their homework. It's not like they're like, whoa, let's sit around, smoke a joint, and let's come up with the first thing that comes into my mind." They've got graphs, they've got charts, they've tracked. In there, they even tell you the name of the meteor that they believe it might have. But if you have a read, you'll see yourself, man.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna definitely read this for sure.
And I think the time is right, because pretty much, it's not a hot topic now, because the YouTube is more focused now on what's going on out in, with the blue and yellow flag and the bear. So they're more interested in that now, because I suppose you got the email that you can't talk about that, or else we won't monetize you or anything.
Yeah, no, I did.
Yeah, I got it as well, but it didn't bother me because I wouldn't bother.
This article came out July 14th, 2020, though.
Oh yeah, I've been sitting on it for ages.
But the pandemic started March 10th or 9th, 2020. That's when they shut the country down. I mean, it didn't start. It started probably really in November 2019.
I think I believe it started a lot sooner than that, because don't forget, a lot later than that, possibly September to October.
I believe that.
Because of China.
Yeah.
China weren't saying nothing.
Yeah, it was spreading already. Yeah. So by the time it got to us, it was already out there everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sporadic.
I mean, I think with us, I don't know how big it is with Chinese New Year. Is that pretty big out in the States?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that again?
Chinese New Year's. Do they celebrate that pretty big in the States?
No, only in Chinatown. In New York.
Well, in England they celebrate it. So we had a lot of Chinese, and that was before they started locking things down. We had a lot of Chinese coming over to celebrate Chinese New Year's.
That's crazy.
That may or may not have been infected.
Of course.
And we can't blame them, because they might not have known. They might have thought, "Oh, I just got a little cold."
They're saying there's another strain out there, man. And another one and another one. I don't think it's ever going to go away, but I think we pretty much have a resistance to the COVID. Don't you think? Like, people have already built up the resistance or got their shots. There's a guy he's been triple vaxxed, and he still got sick with COVID.
Yeah, that's the deal. Even though you get it, you can still catch it. But
he won't die. People aren't dying like they were. If you get the shot, you have a better chance of surviving it. You can still give it and get it.
Yeah.
Which isn't really a vaccine then. So I don't know why they call it that, but anyway, good stuff, man. I appreciate you sharing that. I always like that. I like that kind of stuff. But so that kind of wraps up everything. I'm sorry.
No, I'm glad you liked it. And
big time.
I hope you do cover it, because it's something that I wanted to cover, but I just don't feel I could do it any justice. Because I do think it's of importance that we should look at it. Whether we want to take it in, that's a different matter. That's down to the individual. But I think the information that these guys correlated together, they took the time and energy to do this. And it's so good. When you read it, you're going to be blown away. I guarantee you. And
I was already getting blown away.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Well, I just think it should be shared.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to read it and see if, what I can say and be careful. I wanted to, I know we're almost done here, but I wanted to show the San Diego sighting to people. Chris Leto, who is, tries to debunk everything on the planet. He's trying to be like Mick West. He says, looks interesting. Flares tend to fall with gravity. There must be videos taken from multiple angles at the same time, right? So, yeah, a lot of people are like I said earlier, certain people have an agenda and they're saying what they want people to believe. And this is just flares. I'm still pulling it up. Oh, there it is. Okay. So anyway, everybody, take a look. If this isn't flares, I don't know what is. And I can show everybody my flares and it looks just like it. Same color. Exactly.
Mira, otro. Ya son 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's counting them. 6. That's 6, everybody. 6. Well, look at these up here. There's a triangle hovering. You see it? You see it up here? It's dancing, it's shaking, it seems to be defying gravity. Screw the lights. Look at these up here. Whoa, it just jumped down when I jumped down. It knows what I'm doing. It's reading my mind. See, that's how everybody they all get hooked in this. All right. So obviously these lights we're seeing moving are the lights down here. They're just entering the camera lens and reflecting outward onto the lens. But sorry to say, folks, but if it looks like a duck, walks like a duck, acts like a duck, it's a UFO. No, it's definitely flares. But people are losing their minds on Twitter. This is unbelievable. Nobody knows. I mean, how does I can't. I just can't. I can't.
Well, I just sent you over something. If you want.
Oh, that was you?
Yeah. If you want to show, though, that's somebody that was really up close that took some pictures.
Oh, it looks just like it, but from afar.
No, he was up close. He was close to it.
Yeah, no, but that's if you were far away, that's what you would see. And I'm going to show you guys in 4 seconds. 3, 2, where the hell is it? Go. Right there, kids. That's your flare. See, but when you're 10, 20, maybe some miles away, you don't see the smoke. That's what people forget. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say he's got a series of them. So he didn't just take one picture. He took
here we go. Oh, cool. Thanks. So there he's taking them. Oh, you can see how they dropped a little bit. Watch. Dink, dink. Now they're going back up. Oh, this is great. Good stuff, man. Oh, wow. That's great. You can't even see the smoke yet. Look at that. That is weird, huh? Right there. That's cool. Looks like there's 3, 4, 5. Looks like there might be 2.
See, that's why in what I do is even though I find one footage of it.
Oh. This isn't San Diego, is it?
That's from the Mexico side of it.
See that? The 2 and the 3. That's a very common sighting for flare drops. I don't know why. But that formation always seems to show up. 2s and 3s or reverse 3 and 2. It's weird. I think because they're just dropping them and they go out, and stuff. But you always see that. There it is. It formed a triangle. Now we can sleep. Wow. Yeah, and you know what's interesting about this? It looks like it's right over here, but those are kind of far out.
Yeah.
Probably a mile or two, maybe 5 miles. They look probably like, I don't know. It's hard to tell, maybe 2,000 to 3,000 feet up.
If I remember rightly, because there is a channel out there that did cover his pictures, and if I remember rightly, they said he was by the coastline.
Mm-hmm.
So
so it's not that far.
So there is a channel out there that did show him as UFOs, and then came back and said, "Look, I've got these pictures here, and this is what it is."
These are great, man. Thank you. I'm going to archive these.
No worries. No worries. It's my job, man.
It's good for comparison and for other things. A lot of people don't get close enough to take pictures. I've taken video. I never thought about taking pictures of them. But with it, when you take pictures, this isn't from a video, right? These are just actual.
No, they're his pictures.
Yeah, and you will get better, clear. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So give a shout out to Luis. What's his last name?
Oh, Gutierrez.
Luis
Gutierrez.
Yeah, thank you so much, man.
Yeah, thank you. Professor at Escuela Preparatoria Municipal de Tijuana, de Director Fotografia at Fisheye Inside. Boop. See? Now we're friends. That's how we do it, kids. That's the goof on. No. Hold on. That's the Hidden Underbelly way.
No.
You are way nicer than me.
Thank you.
You must be a little older than me then, if that's the case.
No, it's just it's what we call temperament. I mean, it's just I'm playing my own game in my own sandpit, and I'm just grateful that other people like what I'm doing. And it's a great community out there. There's people that, I talk with, and other channels that don't see, it's great because there's other channels out there that don't see you as a threat or competition. They see you as a friend.
Yeah. I can't wait. Yeah.
I like that. I like that.
I know. I do too, but it never works out that way.
Well,
I know.
It's the game that you play. You're involved with people, and people will make mistakes or say the wrong thing or do the wrong thing. Where sometimes you have to look at that person as a whole and say, well, did he do it out of a place of love, or did he do it out of malice?
Right.
But I don't get involved like that.
No, you don't.
I kind of say my bit when a channel's wronged me. They know they've wronged me. I've said my bit, and I just leave it alone. I just say, look, I have nothing to do with you, because I can't fester on these people. I can't let them live rent free in my head. I've got other things to do.
Well, other than working, and trying to get my show ready and make videos and things for people and other things like that, as soon as I'm done with this show, I don't think about anything I talked about. I'm shut off. It's like it never even happened until I'm ready to work or make a video.
Things don't stick with you.
Absolutely not. No,
see,
they
now
never have.
Now you're a better man than me, because sometimes things stick with me. But I've had channels do some pretty, what I say is underhanded things. I mean, I'm having problems right now with a channel, but I simply just.
It didn't come easily to be this way. I had to grow a thick skin.
Oh, yeah.
But it's my own fault. I have nobody to blame. I'm calling somebody out for lying. Of course, they're going to want to, get back at me, but they always take it a little too far. You know what I mean? It's like, you don't have to step over the line to get back at me. It's really like if I threw a rock at them and hit them in the arm, they want to blow my head off. You know what I mean? That the punishment doesn't fit the crime. It's bizarre.
Oh, I used to be like that.
What was that?
I said I used to be like that, but on a level of where I grew up, the neighborhood that I grew up, that was pretty much how it was. Yeah. If somebody wronged you, you had to wrong them back, but 10 times.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, this is ufology, man. I mean, it's not like it's a physical thing either. You know what I mean? We're on a computer.
I know,
And
I know, and
people are just so.
that's what I always say. I mean, we have control in our own channels, because if I don't, I don't block people, but I have in the past, because the language they use.
Yeah.
You know, certain words don't sit right with me. So when they say it, I just say magic word, and that's it. You're gone. You're out of here. You know, because I don't pander. I'm not out there looking for subscribers. I know that my work speaks for itself, and I'm glad that people also get to know me and like me as well. But there's some bad-minded people out there, and I try and get rid of them, because they're not contributing anything other than their own deluded ideas and thoughts, but they're putting it in such a negative way that it's not needed.
Yeah,
if you know what I mean. I'm open to everybody's idea and thoughts, but when you're like using the C word and just being I can't say it, just being very negative. And I've had people that come and attack people in that making comments. They're attacking them. So
I see them. Yeah, I see it in your comments and on your channel too. People just go nuts. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Ibnar Stratabus, thank you for the $5 there. Viruses feel like a whole body thorough and prolonged sensory scan, physically experienced by a kind of biological or extraterrestrial origin. Yeah, that's true. It's a foreign thing in your body. That's funny. That's an interesting take on that. Yeah, it is kind of like they're doing that, some sort of sensory scan on the body, but they're destroying you at the same time. That's a $5 super chat. Thank you very much. Mucho gusto, generoso. Yeah, continuing supporter of Goof On. Thank you, Ibnar. Ibnar Stratabus. It's a cool name. Well, that's it, Mr. Underbelly. So any last things you want to say to the crowd?
Always, as always, thank you guys, because you know what I'm gonna say, but I say it all the time. I would have been nowhere without you guys. So, thank you so much, for your love, your support, and just letting me bleed your ears a little bit.
Man, it's not hurting to hear what you have to say, and you seem to be a very respectable and liked person. I'm sorry you're going through this with another person. You said you had an issue with somebody.
I'm done. Like the whole end of the matter is that I emailed him and I just told him what I thought about it all and what I thought about him. Not in a bad way. I just said it's a shame you got over 100,000 subscribers, but yet you feel the need to steal videos and not do any work. So, I said, if that's what you have to do because you really have nothing about you, which is a shame, then go ahead and do it. Happy stealings from me and the others. Yours sincerely. And that's it. I'm done. I'm done with it. I don't like it because if I put a video out, you guys will catch it. If I put a video out, 6 to 8 hours, he's putting the same exact video out.
Right. Yeah.
So
is he just playing it like it's his?
Well, he doesn't ask for the videos, so he doesn't put in none of the work. See, what happens is some channels, when they get so big, they feel that they don't have to seek permission anymore. They feel that, well, I'm big, so I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna try and hide under fair usage, and that is your game. But when your channel is looking exactly like mine, even down to the thumbnails, this guy's even using my words, like what I write in the description box of the stories. He's even cutting and pasting that into his description box.
No way.
I even said to my partner, I should start misspelling some words to see if my theory's right, that it's just a straight cut and paste. And she said, yeah, do that.
Definitely do.
But I can't see the only way I can stop this is to hide the source. Don't put out the source, but I can't do that because then my credibility gets shot. Because I know that I know that I have a strong group of people that want to go to the source, want to look at the source, and even ask the source questions that I may not have asked.
Exactly.
You know, like some people are really interested in what camera they're using, whereas I don't ask that.
Right.
You know,
yeah.
and was the object traveling northeast, and you know, things like that. They get very technical when they want to find out things.
Who is Hidden Underbelly? You got him right here. You're trying to get your name. Nope, it's Mr. Underbelly to you. Are you using the 2.0 still?
Yes.
Okay, because I haven't seen.
I use the 2.0 just it's kind of a thing for YouTube, because like I was the Hidden Underbelly and they took my channel down.
Hey, Third Phase of Moon. What's up,
Hey,
fellas?
how you doing? Thank you.
In this field. Go ahead.
No, I do. Yeah, I read what they said, and I do know that we mimic each other, but there's mimicking and there's down and outright plagiarism. And what's going on is plagiarism. You can take the videos. I don't really care about that. I do, but I don't. But when you're taking my presenting style, the same way I present my videos, the same way this character is doing it, when you're even taking my thumbnails, when you're even taking the words that I write in the description box, that's not mimicking, man. That's straight up stealing.
That's a strike, baby.
Well, see, this is the game, and as you know,
I know.
I don't know if you know what's happened with Scott C. Warren.
I heard he lost his channel.
Yeah, and it's terrible. It's terrible.
Why?
He was in the same position that I'm in. He had a channel that was taking his, you know, he gives his content out to anybody he wants to use it. But his only
no, that's not true.
Well, that's what he says on his website.
Bullshit, because I know some people who tried using his footage and he threatened to strike him.
Did they not give him credit for it?
Yeah, they gave him credit.
All right. Well, I don't know, because on his website, it clearly says you can use the footage. All I asked for is that you give me credit for it.
Yeah.
That's what he said. Well, what happened was somebody's been using his footage, not giving him credit, and also doing the same thing that I said, just cutting and pasting his words that he's writing and put it in like it's their words, word for word. So he went to the guy and he said, look, could you please either give me credit or take the video down? So the guy kind of told him to F off. So he gave him a copyright strike. So then the guy turned around and he gave him 2 straight off the bat. So he had to hide all his videos, and hoping it would blow over. But he bowed to his fans, because his fans said, you know, he's not gonna take your channel. So could you just please, you know, put your videos back up so we could see him? So he put him back up, and my man came back and gave him another strike.
Why is this guy getting away with striking him on his own videos?
It's because of YouTube. YouTube doesn't care. If it's that simple.
Okay.
You can just put in a strike and they don't check it out.
No.
He's begging. He's begging them. He's begging for a human to take a look.
Oh, I see.
And for them. So, you know, I hope he does get his channel back, because love him or hate him, he's a good presence.
Oh, look at this. Scott C. Waring gave Third Phase of Moon 2 copyright strikes, claiming he owned NASA footage. That's right.
That's funny.
Because he found it, I think, through the NASA footage, and he claimed it as his own.
But everybody knows you can't copyright. But you see, and YouTube didn't do nothing about that, did they? Did they, Third Phase?
No, well, I don't think so. No, I don't know. I don't remember the story, but they had to work with Scott C. Waring about it. Yeah, YouTube didn't do anything.
No, they wouldn't. YouTube doesn't do anything. I mean, this is the problem with YouTube. They take our money through ad revenues, through your donations.
Yeah.
And they do absolutely nothing for us. When there's a problem, when I was having problems with them, I said to them, this was when they wanted me to present my videos. And I said to them, well, what I don't understand is that I can put out a video, another channel will put out the same exact video, in fact, my video with my logo on it, and they're getting ad revenues, whereas you're demonetizing me for this.
Yeah.
And you know what their reply was to that? Don't worry about other channels. Worry about yourself.
I can't believe you just said that. I had the same answer somebody gave me when I said, can you tell me why my views are different? After 2 days, I was getting a lot of, and they said the same thing almost verbatim. Don't worry about getting views. Put out better content, the guy told me. I'm like, what? Oh my God, I was so pissed.
Some of the people are just insane there. I mean, I spoke to one over counts. You know, like they take counts off of your videos. And one of my videos, they took something like 10,000 counts. So,
what? Yeah.
So I got in touch with him and I said, "What's going on here? Why?" And I sent them the video over, and they said, "I think they said you've got something like 80,000 views. Why are you worried about 10,000 counts?"
Oh my God!
I said, "Well, 10,000 counts is ad revenue.
It's $100, give or take."
It's absurd. It's absurd. Well, I wouldn't get that much for 10,000 because my videos are under the threshold. But it's every penny helps.
Well, that about wraps it. We got to get going, but man, no, that's okay. I have to get to the gym and do other stuff, so I always like to leave right at this time. Perfect timing, anyway. But thanks, man. This was great. It went by super fast. I was thinking we were going to be done in an hour and a half, and we got into some interesting things, COVID and strikes and YouTube and whatnot. So I guess everybody can just go to the Hidden Underbelly 2.0.
Or not. You don't have to.
You have to. I'm going to put the link in the in the description right now. As soon
could
as
I just say real quick before you end?
Yeah.
You know, if you want, is Third Phase still in the house? If you're still in the house, man, if you want to send that link over to them as well for them to have a look, see what they make of that.
All right. Yeah, definitely.
And if you do use it, just remember your old buddy over here.
Of course.
And try and get my name. That guy, he's a good friend of us. The Hidden Underbelly, that's him. That was funny. I love that. That was class, man. I know you guys got a lot on your mind.
It's all right, man. Everybody's trying. I don't know what I was just going to say. I lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
But thanks, man. I really I appreciate this. It was a lot of fun. We'll do it again real soon. Anything you want to add?
No, just much love to you guys, man. Much love to you guys.
Yeah,
Thank
right
you,
back
guys.
at you. Yeah, thanks again, man. It's always a pleasure speaking with you. I think it's like I'm like, what am I going to talk about today? And it's easy to talk to you. You're a good guy, man. Appreciate it. Does good work. Hidden Underbelly. Go check him out.
Bye, everybody. Much love. Much love.
Thank you, man. Have a good one.
You too.
Bye, guy. Bye, guy. I can't believe I just said that.
I'm going.
See ya. All right,
Good night. Bye-bye.
Good night. Oh, thank you, everybody. Go over to Josh and Artemis. They're putting on a great show right now, so we're going to head out of here. Thank you, everybody. You know who you are. Anyway, we'll see you tomorrow night. Tomorrow morning? No, I don't know. But we'll see you tomorrow night for sure. I don't know. Maybe tomorrow morning. We'll see. I want to go to the beach. Have a good night. Thank you, Hidden Underbelly 2.0. Take care, everybody. And we are Truthology. Yeah! Oh! Good night.